Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and these are the headlines that we're tracking this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Maritime India Summit. Deals worth 82,000 crore rupees expected to be signed during the three-day meet. The nation celebrates the 125th birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Prime Minister Modi launches the Gram Uday Se Bharat Uday movement from Dr. Ambedkar's birthplace, Mao, in Madhya Pradesh. Curfew enforced once again in many parts of the Kashmir Valley. Authorities crack down on rumours, shut down mobile internet services. And 2 years after the incident, video surfaces showing some of the 200 girls abducted by the Boko Haram. Parents of missing girls to hold protest in Abuja to demand action. Our top story this evening, delegates and CEOs from 41 countries are taking part at the three-day Maritime Summit 2016 in Mumbai. Now, deals worth over 800 billion rupees are expected to be signed at this event that was inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi.
Inaugurating the Maritime Summit 2016 in India's financial capital, Mumbai, Prime Minister Narendra Modi turned to global investors, urging them to explore investment opportunities in the maritime sector. Modi said no country could achieve the desired results in the maritime sector on its own.
The maritime sector not only creates and facilitates economic activities, it also connects countries and civilizations. Moreover, it is the cleanest and cheapest carrier of global trade. Investing in maritime sector is not only investing in one's own future, but in the future of the planet and that of coming generations.
The Prime Minister told investors that it was the right time to come to India and even better to take the sea route. In India, private ports handle 45% of cargo. The government wants to increase this capacity from 1,400 million tons to 3,000 million tons by 2025. Modi added that investment in the maritime sector would create approximately 10 million jobs over the next decade.
I must mention that our vast coastline of 7,500 kilometers offers a huge investment opportunity. Apart from the length of the coastline, India's maritime potential also lies in its strategic location on all major shipping highways.
At the summit, the Shipping Ministry is showcasing 250 projects in the maritime sector. These projects include various infrastructure development opportunities in 12 major ports, projects in 8 maritime states and other agencies. Modi also launched a National Perspective Plan of Sagarmala program that is aimed at leveraging India's long coastline and natural maritime advantages. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, President Pranab Mukherjee led the nation in paying homage to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 125th birth anniversary. Prime Minister Modi marked the occasion by launching the Gram Uday Se Bharat Uday movement from Ambedkar's birthplace, Mao. Meanwhile, the UN commemorated the day by praising the architect of the Indian Constitution, who fought for equality and respect for the poor and marginalized around the world.
Floral tributes for the father of the Constitution, Dr. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. On his 125th birth anniversary, Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan led parliamentarians in paying homage to the man who was a jurist, economist, politician and a social reformer. Union Ministers Rajnath Singh, M. Venkaiah Naidu and Thawar Chand Gehlot, along with Leader of the Opposition in Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, were among those present in the Central Hall of Parliament House.
The book which we need to follow, because that gives us equity, equality and everything, freedom. Therefore, people all over the country are commemorating that birth anniversary.
विशेष आज महत्व रखता है क्योंकि 125 वर्ष उनको पूरे हुए हैं और आज जिस तरीके से समाज में, देश में और पूरी दुनिया में उनका मान सम्मान है, दलित समाज के लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है।
On the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Gram Uday Se Bharat Uday movement at Ambedkar's Memorial in Kalipaltan area of Mau Cantonment. The campaign aims to strengthen Panchayati Raj, promote rural development and foster farmers' welfare and livelihood of the poor. On 19th of April, a national meeting focusing on Panchayat and tribal development will be held in Vijayawada. Gram Sabha meetings will take place from 21st to 24th of April across the country, and the Abhiyan will conclude on Panchayati Raj Divas on 24th with the Prime Minister's address to all Gram Sabhas from Jamshedpur through radio and TV.
बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर अपने मान सम्मान मर्यादाओं के लिए नहीं, लेकिन समाज की बुराइयों के खिलाफ जंग खेल करके आखिरी छोर पर बैठा हुआ दलित हो, पीड़ित हो, शोषित हो, वंचित हो, उनको बराबरी मिले, उनको सम्मान मिले, इसके लिए अपमानित होकर के भी अपने मार्ग से कभी विचलित नहीं हुए थे.
BSP leader Mayawati alleged that both BJP and the Congress were using Ambedkar's name to get Dalit votes.
इनकी जयंती मनाने को लेकर जो हर वर्ष किस्म किस्म की नाटकबाजी करते हैं, तो ये सब केवल बाबा साहब डॉक्टर अंबेडकर के अपने दलित समाज का व उनके अनुयायियों का, अन्य और अनुयायियों का वोट लेने के लिए ही अपने अपने राजनीतिक स्वार्थ में ये लोग कर रहे हैं.
Meanwhile, the United Nations for the first time observed the 125th birth anniversary of Ambedkar at the UN headquarters in New York. A top UN official described him as a global icon for the marginalized and emphasized the world body's commitment to working closely with India to help realize his vision of empowerment and social and economic equality. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A curfew was clamped once again in parts of the Kashmir Valley as the anger over the killing of 4 people in army firing spilled over. In a bid to prevent the spread of rumours, authorities have also shut down mobile internet services in the state.
Kashmir remained shut for the second consecutive day on Thursday after 4 people were killed in army firing earlier this week. A tense Kashmir Valley was clamped shut amid simmering anger over the death of 4 civilians in firing by security forces. Restrictions are to continue in parts of Old Srinagar, including in the main business hub of Lal Chowk. Curfew has also been enforced in Handwara town and parts of the border district of Kupwara. Separatist leaders including Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, Mirwais Umar Farooq and Yasin Malik have been placed under house arrest.
और पुलिस स्टेशन थानों में उन्होंने अहकामात लगाए हैं, तो इसीलिए आज कश्मीर बंद है.
Authorities also shut down mobile internet services as they tried to stop rumours from spreading. Adequate security arrangements have also been made in other towns in South and North Kashmir to ensure that miscreants are prevented from creating any law and order problem. On Tuesday, 3 civilians were killed in Handwara when police fired at an angry mob protesting against the alleged molestation of a teenage girl by an army man. A claim later dismissed both by the army and the girl. A day later, people in Kupwara took to the streets to protest the Handwara deaths. A burning tear gas canister fired by the police hit a 25-year-old man on his head. The man later succumbed to the injury. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the second special train carrying around 5 lakh litres of water reached Latur last night. Latur district of Maharashtra is battling the worst drought ever. The water train had 10 wagons carrying water, each with a capacity of around 50,000 litres. Meanwhile, the drought situation in other parts of the state and the country as well remains severe. Our correspondent Akhilesh Suman spoke to noted agricultural scientist Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, who said that perennial drought in some states is evidence of climate change. He said that the state and union governments need to plan to mitigate the drought situation before it hits. Let's listen into what the father of the Green Revolution had to say.
Dr. Swaminathan, everywhere, every year there is drought in some parts of the country, especially in 2-3 parts of the country. Why the government cannot be successful in dealing with the drought situation?
This is unfortunate because long ago I recommended what I call drought code, flood code, good weather code. Today, for example, the prediction is the monsoon will be good in which case how to take advantage of a good monsoon, how to avoid adverse impact of an unfavorable monsoon. This kind of anticipatory action is not there. And the drought code, if it had been there, you would have prepared yourself for drought. As far as weather conditions are concerned, we should be prepared for abnormalities. Latur, if it is prone to water shortage, we should be ready with a strategy when there is water.
What can be the anticipatory action for checking the drought? Because it's an issue related to climate change also.
There is always some rain, some water. The groundwater management becomes very important. And along the coast, seawater today, we can also use seawater through plants, what we call halophytes. So whatever source, whether it is groundwater, whether it is surface water, whether it's rainwater, or whether it's seawater or waste recycling, it must be made compulsory for every company, every industry, that they must give back the water they have taken in a good form. In other words, wastewater treatment and recycling become very important.
Sir, do you think, my final question, that the drought in India is somehow or other related to the climate change situation and governments have not done so much on this issue?
Drought has always been there. In the British days, there was not much irrigation. Therefore, drought used to do a lot of damage. But in 1870 and 1900, it is stated about 3 or 4 million people died out of drought. So drought is not a new phenomenon, occasional rainfall failure. But now what is happening is, probably as a result of climate change, we have more frequent occurrences of extreme events, drought, hailstorms, floods. Many of them are becoming more frequent and we are more unpredictable than before.
Moving on now, despite the loss of over 100 lives in the Kollam temple tragedy, an all-party meet convened by the Kerala government has resolved that there is no need for a blanket ban on firework displays. Rather surprisingly, Chief Minister Oommen Chandy said the parties were of the view that fireworks displays should be permitted, subject to stringent norms and close supervision by the civil and police authorities. The government has also decided to allow the celebration of Thrissur Puram on traditional lines and take steps to permit the fireworks offering at the Sabrimala shrine, following the Kerala High Court also permitting the use of firecrackers in Thrissur.
So it has been unanimously resolved that this incident has to be declared as a national calamity. And also we have decided to completely ban the competition in the case of fireworks. And also the norms will be fully enforced by the police and other agencies so that the total security will be ensured.
Let's get you some more national news and updates nationwide. The government today reconstituted the Indira Gandhi National Centre for Arts Board. Veteran journalist and Padma Shri awardee Ram Bahadur Rai has been appointed as chairman. The new board has 20 members. The IGNCA is an autonomous institution under the Culture Ministry, which works as a centre for research, academic pursuit and dissemination in the field of arts. The body of Major Amit Deswal, who was killed in an encounter on Wednesday, was recovered today from the remote place in Tamenglong district in Manipur. Major Deswal was killed in a gun battle with the Zilangrong United Front militants in the densely forested Nungba area during a cooking operation. He is survived by his wife and a 3.5-year-old son. Pakistan's Maritime Security Agency today apprehended 24 Indian fishermen and seized 4 boats off Gujarat's Jakku coast near the international maritime borderline. The fishermen had sailed off the coastal town of Porbandar and Oka a few days ago. Nearly 191 fishermen along with 34 boats have been captured by the PMSA in 6 separate instances in the last 3 months. 61 Maoist rebels and their sympathizers surrendered before police in Chhattisgarh. A ceremony was organized in the Bastar district to facilitate their surrender. Police handed over a cheque of 10,000 rupees to all those who surrendered. According to the police, the rebels and their sympathizers were active in the region for the last several years. Time now for all the election-related news in our special segment, Verdict 2016. The full bench of the Election Commission today held day-long meetings to review poll preparedness in West Bengal, where 2 rounds of voting have already taken place. The delegations met political parties and officials from the police and the administration ahead of the third phase of polls slated for the 17th of April. 2 days ago, Kolkata Police Chief Rajiv Kumar was removed amid allegations of bias towards the ruling Trinamool Congress. This is the second visit of the Commission to West Bengal, which has 6 phased assembly polls.
The Commission has deployed close to 800 companies of Central Police Forces in the election process. All polling locations will be manned by Central Police Forces. 1,500 CPF mobiles, 1,500 Central Police Forces mobiles will be deployed. CPF will be discharging their duties at booth in a very active manner. They will be keeping a close watch on the groups inside the booth, and anyone indulging in malpractices will be brought to books. Adequate CCTV coverage and webcasting in polling stations in sensitive areas will be ensured.
And the Election Commission today issued show-cause notice to West Bengal Chief Minister Manika Batra for allegedly violating the Model Code of Conduct. The poll code violation came during an election rally in Asansol, where Manika announced the creation of a new district. The Chief Minister now has to answer the notice, failing which the Election Commission can take action against her. According to reports, Manika Batra, however, justified her announcement and even claimed that she will do it again.
It was brought to the knowledge of the Commission that some kind of promise was made for creation of Asansol district, and on that basis there is a detailed show cause notice which will be displayed on our website.
Time for us to take a short break. All the international and sports news on the other side. We'll be right back.
We should have teaching of earth sciences in school. Our aim should be that the youngsters should not only think about physics, chemistry, maths, biology, but also geology. I can survive without wearing a gold, but I cannot survive if I don't take water even for one day.
Watch Eureka only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Some international news now. And 2 years after Boko Haram militants kidnapped 200 Nigerian schoolgirls, a video has surfaced that shows a few of them are still alive. The video released by the Islamist militants was filmed in December 2015. Meanwhile, parents of hundreds of missing girls are holding a march in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, to demand more action to find the missing girls.
2 years on, still no sign of the 200 schoolgirls who were kidnapped by Boko Haram militants in Nigeria. A fresh video released by Boko Haram shows a few of them are alive. It is the first footage of the girls to be seen since May 2014. The girls were identified by their parents. The video shows them pleading with the Nigerian government to cooperate with the militants on their release.
I saw girls, and through their Chibok girls, I recognize some of them, because we are in the same area with them.
That will prove to us that yes, these girls are really alive. Maybe they take that video 2 months after adoption, we don't know. Maybe a year after the adoption, we don't know. But actually that video, even though we are still to authenticate, it brings another hope to people.
Nigeria's Bring Back Our Girls protest group tied red ribbons around trees to remember kidnapped girls. Parents of the missing girls blamed the former government for inaction, after which then-President Goodluck Jonathan lost the elections. The current government, they say, is no different.
Right now, we have what is known as the Chibok Girls Ambassadors Walk, a walkathon, and the essence of this activity is to go around and tie ribbons on objects, tie ribbon all over the route that they are going to do the walkathon. And the ribbon is to let people know that up to now there are 219 girls that are still in captivity and they need to be brought back home.
I feel really sad and really kind of disappointed in our government for not being able to bring back the Chibok girls sooner than now, because I feel that if I was one of the Chibok girls, I would still be in captivity up till now, or I'll still be in captivity, and I don't think anyone would like that.
Boko Haram militants kidnapped 276 schoolgirls from Chibok in Borno State on April 14, 2014. Nearly 50 of them managed to escape. Boko Haram's leader Abubakar Shekau demanded a prisoner exchange for the kidnapped girls. According to Amnesty International, these girls are used as sex slaves, fighters and suicide bombers. Recent UN reports suggest that child suicide bombings by Boko Haram have surged in West Africa in 2015. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, South Korea's ruling Conservative Party lost its majority in Wednesday's general election, breaking its 16-year majority in parliament. With 85% of the votes counted, the centre-right Sainori Party won 122 out of the 300 seats. The opposition Minju Party has taken 123 seats. The result dents President Park Geun-hye's prospects of retaining her presidency next year. Park Geun-hye has come under sharp criticism over her handling of the economy during the recent years.
저는 선거 참패에 대해서 모든 책임을 지고 오늘부터 당대표직에서 물러나겠습니다. 그동안 선거 지지를 해주신 많은 당원 동지 여러분과 국민 여러분들께 감사드리고.
Some international news now in Global Buzz. At least 18 people were killed by a crane that collapsed in high winds in China's Guangdong province. The crane toppled onto a two-story building made of shipping containers. 139 construction workers were inside the building when the crane collapsed. While most escaped, 18 are still in hospital. British Prime Minister David Cameron's approval rating fell to its lowest level since 2013 in the wake of the Panama Papers revelations. A Times newspaper poll showed Cameron falling behind Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn in public approval. The news comes as a blow to the Prime Minister, who is battling to keep Britain in the European Union ahead of a June referendum. Cameron had admitted on Thursday that he had benefited from an offshore investment fund run by his late father, although he sold all his shares in 2010. Ukraine's parliament approved Volodymyr Grozman as the prime minister. Grozman is a key ally of President Petro Poroshenko, and his ascent to the post signifies the country's biggest political shake-up since the 2014 uprising. The Western-backed reform program of his predecessor had stalled in the recent weeks, and several high-profile reformers had left the government. 371 migrants were rescued from 3 rubber boats in the Mediterranean on Tuesday. The Italian Coast Guard released footage of the rescue operations showing officers next to a crammed migrant boat at sea with another boat carrying a large number of migrants seen at distance. The EU said alarming numbers of potential migrants are gathering in Libya to cross over the Mediterranean. Time for some sports action and Sports Beat. Indian shuttler PV Sindhu crashed out at the Singapore Open as she lost to China's He Bingjiao in the second round. Despite her winning the first set, Sindhu lost the game 11-21, 21-14, 21-14. It was also curtains down for the men's doubles pair of Pranav Jerry Chopra and Akash Devalkar, and mixed doubles duo of Pranav and N.C. Reddy. Indian table tennis players Soumyajit Ghosh and Manika Batra booked their Olympic tickets by winning their respective groups in the Asian qualifiers in Hong Kong today. Ghosh topped the group with 3 wins. He beat A. Sharat Kamal, Anthony Amalraj and Harmeet Desai, while Manika started badly, losing the opening contest to Pooja Sahasrabudhe but recovered well to down Shamini. In football, Atletico Madrid defeated defending champions Barcelona 2-0 on Thursday to send the Catalans crashing out of the Champions League in the quarter-finals. A brace from Antoine Griezmann clinched the result for Atletico as he first scored in the 36th minute and converted the second in the 88th minute with a penalty. Meanwhile, German giants Bayern Munich defeated Benfica 3-2 on aggregate to secure their place in the Champions League semi-finals after registering a 2-2 draw in the second leg. Raúl Jiménez gave Benfica the lead in the first half before Arturo Vidal equalized for Bayern. Thomas Müller then gave the Germans the lead before Talsico's free kick leveled the scores. Well, that's the news tonight. Good night.